Good morning and welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. With your watch page muted, simply click on that link to express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected, and if you are ejected, please do not try to rejoin the stream using a sock account. With that, I'm going to transition in a moment to my photograph so I can share the show on Facebook, Skype and Twitter, and I would encourage anybody who is in the live audience to do exactly the same. Please share the show on any social media platforms that you have at your disposal. Once more, I'm going to say if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. So I've just finished sharing the show on Facebook, Skype and Twitter, and once more I'd ask anybody who is currently in the live stream to do the same. Please share the show on your various different social media platforms. I'll do a few shout outs to the people who are in the chat in just a moment. I'll run through my links, so if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs along the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate, there is a link in the info box below this video. With your watch page muted, simply click on that link to join the debate and, for the time being at least, express your views on the shape of the Earth entirely unopposed. So let's do a few shout outs to the people who have joined us in the live chat. See who's in here. Globe Thrusters, good to have you here. Says wee. The Rig says hello to me, hello to you. Nichio Snows. Morning Club Bait Nathan. I think he means clickbait. Club bait. Yeah. Flat Earth Accord music. No, just flat accord music. Says, here I am. Good to know. William Genska, good to see you. Gibson225 says hello guys. Tony Ward Deja Vu. Also very pleased to have you here. As and when we get any guests joining, I shall introduce them. For the time being, I shall leave you with my slides of Guess the Movie. Share the show. I have to start pasting the link into the info box after I start the show. Every single time I paste it in, and when I actually go live it disappears for some reason. So the pasted link is now in the info box, should anybody want to join. It was also at the top of the chat feed anyway, so worth knowing if you're a regular and you did want to join the show at the beginning. There is always going to be a link in the chat room. It's my way of testing that the chat room still works, i.e. the feed that's being broadcast is still actually working. I just stick the link to the show in there. So yeah, early joiners, just click on the link on the chat room as opposed to looking for a link that isn't there in the info box, because I will address that as time goes by and just stick it in after we start when I'm sharing the show. JJ, good to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us. It says morning. Morning to you too. A few more shout outs to people who have joined us. So, Haunted House, good to have you here. Oops. Fanny Lancer, good to have you here. Agent Detective, good to see you. I haven't missed anybody. Good morning to Chess. Good to have you here. A few quick links as we've been on for a quarter of an hour and we're yet to be joined by anybody, which isn't necessarily always the case on these early morning shows, but either way, welcome if you are watching and you're not actually in the chat. So shout out to all of the live viewers who are not chatting. Good to have you here on Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the show, you can still hit the super chat that runs alongside while it is live. But if you would like to join the show, there is a link in the info box below this video with your watch page muted. So the page that you are actually looking at now needs to be muted before you click on that link. But feel free to click on that link to join the debate and express your views on the shape of the Earth live. And that's pretty much it. Once again, please share the show if you've not done so already. Massive thank you to William Gensker for popping €10 in the super chat. Much obliged. Good timing. Looks like we have our first guest. How you doing, my friend? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Oh, it's Haunted House. Good to have you here, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. See if I could turn my... Don't you hate that? Like, why does everybody have to do videos like this? It's like, I'm in this great place. I'm on vacation. It's wonderful to look at, but too bad you're not going to be able to see it because my face is in the way. Look at that. It's great. It's so the scenery is amazing. Yeah. You guys see all that? Okay, great. Let me turn it around. I always wondered that. I'm like, fuck, you have to be like, no one really understands like camera angles or anything in terms of photography. But who am I to say that?
That is a very shiny car.
Yeah, but it's carbon black, so it's like
Oh,
if you
wow.
look at it's speckly.
Yeah, it looks
It's almost
nice.
got like green speckles on it. It's a fun mobile, that's for sure.
That's nice.
It's got this, man. This is my favorite part about it, though.
Are they Brembos?
Everybody, yeah, Brembo.
Oh, wow. They're
It's
a
the
bit overkill, aren't
3.8.
they?
That's the same. What, I'm sorry, what was that?
Bit over the top, overkill, too much.
No, they come stock.
Really?
It's one of those things. People do that. Yeah, people look at my car on the road all the time, and they're always looking at my wheels. You know, they're stock wheels, but when they spin, you can see the Brembos there, and it's like that's kind of a status thing. You know, it's totally a status thing because cars that have Brembos are like high performance vehicles. And there's the Mitsubishi Evo. That doesn't, I think, so is in New Jersey, and maybe this is everywhere in the world.
Oh, I think your mic's
They're,
unplugged or something. Oh,
oh,
it's
yeah, yeah.
probably
Hold on.
gone to the car, hasn't it? You've got Bluetooth.
Yeah, the Bluetooth just picked up. It's
Yeah.
probably better on my Apple AirPods, though, right? It was
Yeah,
better
yeah, it
before.
was better on your AirPods, to be honest. But that's okay. You're in the car. You could go for a cruise right now.
I could. I got to set some kind of camera.
Weren't you streaming
Okay,
this
so everyone
morning?
in New Jersey paints. What's up?
Weren't you streaming this morning?
No. Somebody, Chris Truth Seeker, sent me a message saying, I'll make that stop right now. He said that I saw you get banned from VB's chat, and I was like, "That's funny." I was mowing the lawn, and he was like, "Oh, well, someone might have a haunted house account." I haven't seen one, not me personally.
That seems unlikely because literally VB has never ever banned anybody on his chat. He makes a big deal about the fact that he doesn't
Yeah,
ban people.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was thinking. I don't think he really has anything against me anymore. I think we're over that thing.
Yeah, it was an
Thank
interesting
God.
show actually. Did you watch the whole of that show? Because Patricia Steer went on VB's show with Tim Osman and all sorts of different people that you wouldn't
Oh
expect.
no, I thought it was tonight at 8 o'clock or something.
There's another
Or was
one, but
last?
it was his
Okay.
100th, not 100th, sorry, his 1 year anniversary show. And he sent the link out to absolutely everybody who'd ever been on the show, including myself and Patricia. And I've got to be honest, I was saying, go on, go on. And she eventually did. And it was nice to see her talking to people like Tim Osman. And she held
Yeah,
her own with
that's
Tim
what
Osman.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That was it. I was done. I was just saying, watching Patricia Steer hold her own with Tim Osman was an interesting thing to watch.
It's so funny how I think this has happened a few times between you and I, like the same exact sentiment in different words. I've told her on numerous occasions, it would be great for your internet persona or whatever it is she's pursuing to show yourself, show your face around, I don't know, some other people. It's like we see you with Mark, and that's great, but don't make that your only association, because it'll to these people, these paranoid conspiracy theorist types, and the ones out there who are going to turn on you like that, like she was on what's his face, BS Sanchez, and she was really nervous because it was just a mess, that show, and he's a mess. But anyway, I was telling her, yeah, you should do come on and hang out with like Snack to the Future or me or anybody like Issa or something like that. I'm on one of ours because it's a little bit more free form, so to speak. It's not as organized, and anything could happen in that sense. It'll show a different side of her. It's like a, because she's very organized. She has like her topic and her setup, and she does that. And I think it's just one of those things that would open things, because I mean she gets so much shit from everybody. Whoops.
Well, her remark have
Strike
become
one.
like a subject in themselves, haven't they, within Flat Earth? There's enough conspiracies that surround those two individuals, just as, excluding anything shape of the Earth related, just about them personally. There's so much conspiratorial crap surrounding them.
It's a direct reflection of the type of people that surround this thing, whether we like it or not. It's kind of a crappy like side of people, and when they see a friendship form, and the friendship is based in, I don't know, kind of like almost like a childlike
jealousy,
admiration, affection for each other. Well, like
sorry, I thought
Mark
you meant
and
the
Trisha,
audience.
well, they look at it like, well, like it just, the reactions are so like base and shit. Like this whole tranny thing. I asked P Mars the other day, who him and I had a great talk, and I was asking him. He didn't really answer the question. I don't think he could answer the question. I can't answer it. What's this? What's the end game with transsexual exposure? Like, when do you win? And I said to him, is it when you get a guy with a camera and another guy goes over to a woman, yanks her pants down, and points? I was like, that's the only thing I came up with. Is that when it's like official? See, I told you. Look, everybody, look. Other than that, where do we go with that? What does it prove? Is it supposed to make it? Is it supposed to make me question and take another look at like relationships and that sort of thing? Like, is it supposed to, like, they destroyed the family, right? The the uh the people who want to destroy families, the governments and all that, the family unit. They don't want that sort of thing. They don't want strong family units. That's the sentiment I've always got. The Agenda 21 folks and all these mythical organizations that I guess they exist. I've never seen them. But for the sake of the mythology, I think they don't, because strong families don't allow government, they don't allow outsiders, they don't allow anyone in. That's the tightest knit thing. The child is there for the first 7 years, so he's committed. And the parents, if they're a solid union, then nothing is allowed in there. I had friends growing up that, as good of friends that I would be with them, when they had to go home and like do their thing, it was like, yeah, fuck off. All right, that's the last curse I'm going to do, because I like your no cursing rule. It's so much. I can't stand random F bombing and like.
Oh, no cursing rule. I thought you said no person rule.
No.
Like, no, you can talk about people here if you want to. If you want to talk about people, as long as they're in Flat Earth, and it's, to me that's under
Right.
the umbrella of Flat Earth. So, but yeah, no cursing. Yeah, no, definitely no swearing. It's. Well, I'll clarify that now. It's not necessarily the case that I care when people swear. Well, maybe that's a little bit more true with literally my kid in shock, because I don't want her precious ears hearing it. But the reality is, I don't care about swearing. It doesn't fuss me.
Yeah.
The more fruitful the language, the better, in terms of, But that aside, because
it's not fruitful though.
It's when people are debating. When they get sweary and they're in debate, it tends to be that their blood pressure's going up and they're getting more agitated. That's when I can say, please don't swear, rather than, come on, calm down. Because if you tell someone to calm down, they go, I'm not angry.
Yeah, I know. I don't need to calm down.
Who are you telling to calm down?
But you're right. That's a clever way to oust people, or to boot people without having to confront the idea of booting.
Yeah, and trigger them further.
There's a penalty thing. Most people curse because they can't think of what they want to say next, so they F-bomb it up. Like, I'll use freaking as a stand-in. Like, what'd you freaking say to me? freaking this guy. Think. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? You have only a split second left. Then they throw another one down. All right, I got it. I bought myself some time.
Yeah, same as repeating
But I,
back what someone's just said to you. That's another time buying technique. So you say, well, where have you been all day? Where have I been all day? You know, it just buys you that few extra seconds to come up with your answer.
yep. And when you see it in movies, that's the first sign of bad writing. Whenever there's a few things. When I hear someone say seriously, seriously, like that's such an unnecessary thing to say. So unnecessary. All the one person is trying to show that there's doubt involved, but they don't have to say that because it's such an arrogant, like annoying thing. It's not a pleasant thing to hear. But have you noticed? You know, remember I did a hangout about conspiratorianism and
It's
basically how
best
if
subject
there's
ever.
one thing that if there's one thing that soils the flat earth, that's it. And I've been saying it's got to go. And I hope other people say that. Sometimes I don't do things that other people are doing because I didn't think of it first. And I have to get over my own little like jealousy, my own little arrogance. But then I finally relent and I do it. But it's really pathetic. Some of it. It's I mean the ODD video that I did, you know, whether he'll see it or not, I don't care. Says he is and who he thinks he is and who he portrays on YouTube, then he should step back and look at it and maybe even think about it. You know, how many people react to things that you say? Like you say something, there's always got to be a rebuttal or a fucking a dang retort. Always. I try not to do it, and it's hard. It's a hard habit to break. But no one thinks about what was just said. It just flies right past in one ear out the other. But the conspiratorianism in the directed energy weapon thing video, about there it is. Look, see? And there's nothing there. Yeah, it looks suspicious, but go do something. Go there. That's what Jamie Lee did from A Plain Truth. And he didn't really uncover anything. I mean, I like to see that. I like the idea that people can figure things out for themselves. They don't need experts. I've heard people say things like, oh, we're going to talk about flat Earth. I'm not talking about it until there's a physicist in the room. A physicist. It's like, I've already talked to physicists about it. They've never even considered it. But some will, because it's a challenge. The problem is is proving it. Stop stop forcing it on people. Have you met anyone that got into flat Earth because somebody yelled it at them from a street corner,
So you can
or somebody
lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
exactly, exactly, exactly. I didn't find out that way. You know, it's not going to be as exciting, which is true. You know, it's kind of cool when people figure it out, but it's even cooler when you meet someone who's into it and they did it naturally, organically. And the rate at which this will spread, I think, is going to be dictated by nature and nature alone, not by people spreading it to people. It'll be the state of the world and our need for some natural comforts, you know, some sense. Like Bill Hicks used to say, there's no one on TV telling us things aren't okay. And that has an effect, a psychological effect on the public. They start to wonder, am I going crazy? Why isn't anyone saying anything? And before you know it, you're the only one there saying something. And people that are sensitive will drop off. You know, they'll have a nervous breakdown and not know what to do with it. When a nervous breakdown is really just a profound event that leaves you at a crossroads where you can say, I'm either going to break down or I just broke down and now I'm repaired and the worst is over. It's how much you believe in your own decisions. I believe in my decisions now. I've made so many dumb decisions, and I'll still make dumb decisions, but I know I can be part of the deciding factor. And that's, I saw an old friend this weekend, and she was telling me how much she was working, and I was telling her, I was like, Steph, before we hooked up that one time, I looked at you like you were Charlize Theron kind of looked to her. I was like, I couldn't believe that we like, you know, got together. I was like, wow, me, me, what am I doing with this girl? I'm like the grossest thing. You got a good girl when she makes you feel like a troglodyte or something like that, or an ogre. And I told her, I was like, you have no idea really who you are. You have no idea how people see you. And if you did know, you could take advantage of that and use it to your own advantage. And I told her, stop working so much. No, I'm talking to someone. I told her, take some time off. Don't let that, what else are you going to do? You're going to work for money so you can live? Well, how are you going to live when you're working all the time? It's like the guy who gets a job so he can pay for the vehicle. So he can pay for the vehicle that takes him to work. So he can pay for the vehicle that takes him to work. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. But
it's just noisy. If I leave the mic on, you'll hear bingo and my kid's chair being banged around and stuff. That's all.
That's all right. I have no problem with that. Your daughter Eleanor, how your self, your you need to like take things into consideration about where you stand in the world. How did she change that? Like, what level are you at? Like, are you the shot caller? Any decision and every decision, or do you have the limit?
How do you mean between me and my wife?
Well, like well, now you have a responsibility. You produced a you. You replicated yourself, which is pretty much what it is. A little bit of her, a little bit of you. Hey, man.
I don't know, man.
I was just going to say how it changed. I've spoken to some people who have changed their lives.
The only responsibility change is, it's not really a responsibility change, it's just an outlook change, which is to say that, it won't be down to me to tell her. So it's kind of the opposite of what you're saying. It's like, between me and my wife, we've discussed letting her come to her own conclusions about stuff. Yes, we will tell her about all of it, including, obviously, there's a flat Earth show, so I'll keep it on topic and say, the heliocentric model will be discussed with her at length, in detail, with accurate information. I'll add that bit at the end because that's important. But, it's not that I'll say it is or isn't correct to her. That'll be left to her. I'm sure she'll be quite capable of making her own choices in life.
I'm sure you guys are going to make good parents.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Did you hear about P. Mars?
What about him?
He actually, I don't know why I said that. Nothing even happened. We he like had a freak out on Brenda, and I had to like settle him down a little bit because it was a little ridiculous. And I said to him, I was like, she did catch you, Mars. And if P. Mars is listening to this right now, I'm probably going to sound like a jerk or something like that. Because when anyone's talking about someone, it's always off-putting. But anyway, is there some sexual issues? It's like, because what's the deal? You came at her like, if I asked him if you were in the same room as her, what would that what's the word I'm looking for? What would that not transition? What would that experience have been if it was like physically in real time, you guys in front of each other, and you just kind of like, well, whatever, she's this, she's that. Teacher, he's like, you're an idiot because your father was a teacher, and she said, oh, you've been doxing me, you're gonna dox me, and Pimar's just like, no, it was just and he like all of a sudden disappeared. But anyway, I was asking him like, what do you want to do with your life, man? And he gave me this insane, this really crazy theory on screwing with people. He likes to screw with people. I'll shut up for a second. I think you're probably going to introduce, or I don't even know if you're online yet.
No, you already got worse because you were on Bluetooth now, but it gives me a good opportunity to say hello to Curved Water, who's just joined us. So pleased to have you here, Curved. Thanks for being here.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Curved.
What's up?
I'm Jonathan. I don't think I know you.
You what?
I'm talking to P-Mars, and I asked him, what do you want to do with your life? Like, what if you could do it? This is a broad question, and that's a good thing to, like, to consolidate thoughts. He explained he has this love for children, and he was nervous to say that because of the whole pervert thing. And I was like, stop right there. When you're innocent, when you're innocent of something, anything, don't ever worry. I mean, don't ever. And I understand where the world we live in now, where it's like, even if you say, there's a problem with that. If you say the word pedophile in someone's direction, that person is now incriminated, no matter who they are. It's usually in a situation, if nobody knows that person, that's it. It's over. It's a dangerous tool. It's a dangerous, not tool. It's a dangerous little trick you can play on someone. It's a nasty thing you can do to people. But he was like, I don't want to say. It's going to sound weird, in the light of all these.
Is there any chance you can go back to your AirPods? I've just got Everett Anderson says, can't hear Haunted. I can make out what you're saying just about, but it was better on your AirPods, just if you can. That'd be brilliant.
So he didn't want to say that he likes having interaction with kids. Oh shit. Yeah, my data thing just kicked in. All right, I'll have to make this quick then.
That's miles better, by the way, just so you know.
Okay, cool. And I was like, well, that's pretty like big of you. If you get along with kids and kids get along with you, and I was like, why don't you have a child? I don't know your current relationship status, but I don't know what he said something about a girlfriend that he like that. But I said, well, you don't have to have a girlfriend. Why don't you adopt a kid, man? There's probably some kid out there that feels just like you. Go get him and talk to him, because he loves the unadulterated randomness and out of the box style of thinking that children have, which is very entertaining when you put things in front of them just to see what they'll say, what they'll come up with. So I was like, kind of pushing them to like run with that. This whole idea of like messing around with your friends just to do it. It's like that goes sour real fast. And it's not going to bode well, especially when you're online. Word counts when you don't know people or something like that. But it all comes down to like fact checking, fact checking. People are going to say things, hey, know what you're talking about. Hey, in my channel, saying anything is a definite, because I don't know certain things. But I don't know what your opinion is of Bro Sanchez, but I'm unsubbed from him, and he's got a really sour followers. There was a guy who 2 minutes prior, when he saw me in the chat, was like, "Oh, hey, dude, blah blah blah. You dude, listen to this. It was great." And then I got on there and I was talking to Rose Sanchez, and right after he told me, he's like, "I'm going to let you speak. I'm going to let you speak, but I've got to get my words in, man. I got to get my words in." Okay, okay. Are they ever going to end? So he went through like another 3 minute, long winded, never ending run on verbose sandwich of a sentence. And I thought it was done. It wasn't done. I was like, "So what you were, I'm not finished." And I was like, "Oh, I see what he does. I see what he does." And he was 4 hours into his hangout. So he was all warmed up and ready. He was all vocal corded up and lips, gums were slapping and flapping around, energized, all that. Got the brain flowing, juices, topics, all that. I know how it feels. And I was just in a car driving through the rain, made this stupid assertion about resurrection really means rise erection. And I heard the proverbial brakes go off. Like, on, what did you just say? That's right. Egyptian. He showed a picture of this Egyptian statue with a coming out of its crotch area. It's all the gay. They're all just a gay cult, and they have these homo orgies. He's using the word faggot. He got 400 listeners with intent behind it. I don't want to know that person. I'm sorry, but that's never gonna be me. Be me. If you hear me saying these fucking niggers and their fucking gangs, right into the street. But it's never gonna happen because I'm not that. I'm not that person. Because that's a blanket statement. Once you use that word, nigger, faggot, any of that shit, all that's there's so much hate behind it. Some people don't know what it's like to be the product of hate. I'm surprised Patricia still is even in this for what she goes through. But he got pissed off because the story changed. I don't think you're right about that Egyptian thing. Do you know for sure? I'm on here all the time, and everything I say to people, I'm here enlightening them. F bomb, F bomb. I'm effing enlightening them. Just effing enlightened. Anyway, you get the point. And he brought up something else about, are you in control of your reality? And he said, no, we were being oppressed and all this blame shit. And I don't want to he was doing this and I did that and whatever. The point of the story is something that I knew for sure. His metaphor was, oh, you're in control of your reality. Well, what are you going to do if the water company shuts your water off? And I said, okay, I'll play ball with this. I'll have your experiment. If they did, and I get what you're saying, the water company runs everything. Because I made a choice a long time ago to not work for the water company. Had I made that choice, I could have worked my way up to a position where eventually I would have run that area of the water company. So that example fails. And the next one is probably going to fail too, because I could have made that choice. Anybody could have made any choice. These are not special people we're dealing with. It's about the choices we make. We make choices to either participate, not participate, challenge, be challenged, go to sleep. There's so many options as a human being on this plane. And I choose to not go out and bomb the White House. But I could. I could do it. You could do it. Anybody could do it. I make those choices. So right for now, I have to let these people have their way and let them do their thing until I can figure out another plan of attack. And I said, oh, well, as for the water thing, I'll go put a barrel in the backyard. You can't do that because it's illegal. And I was like, well, do you know it's illegal? for sure. I mean, I heard that YouTube told me that too. Internet told me that stuff. But I don't know for sure, though. I never looked up the state laws. And not only that, if there was a state law, no one is ever going to come into my backyard and just confiscate a barrel. It's not going to happen, ever, 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 ever. If I have a distillery in the house, in the backyard with stainless steel enclosures and all that stuff, maybe. But even then, everyone's got their own life. And he said, how are you going to purify? You can't drink all the water I love this one. All the water that falls through the chemtrail clouds. All that water is going to be tainted. And I was like, all the videos the guy's made, and that's his logic. Water drops are going to pick up chemtrails. It's like his junior conspiracy manual told him this. If you look at page 22, there's chemtrails everywhere, so this happens. See? This guy don't know anything. I'm about to boot you. And I was like, wait, why am I being booted? I'm not telling anyone they were wrong. I said, well, let me correct the water assessment. I detail cars and rainwater. It doesn't leave water spots. There's no mineral deposits. Anything coming out of a pipe. And I was like, you know what? He's not even going to understand pipe, water, cleanliness, this, that. But that's who that guy is. And I never spoke to him before. And I was shocked. But I wasn't surprised. That makes no sense. I was shocked, but I wasn't surprised. I was shocked that he had that many people dedicated to whatever he was saying. And he thinks loud voice means right voice. And I asked him, well, what happens when you come across someone who corrects you? Do you actually stop and say, I might have to change that? And he said that, yeah, I do that. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that because I've seen some of his crazy arguments. And when someone's having a crazy heated argument and one person and the other one slips up, they usually cover it up with name calling because you can't have that because then it looks like the other person destroyed them or some nonsense like that. And he said there was a guy, flat earther in the South, who got beat up by the police. I didn't hear about this. And he's like, what do you think about that? I can't do anything about that. He's like, you wouldn't do anything about that? I said, no, I couldn't do anything about that. I'm about to boot you, man. You said you don't care. You're the only one who lives in this world. Get out of here, fool. And then Patricia came on. He's like, you got to get out of here because I got to make room for Patricia Steer. And I was like, all right, well, that's it, I guess. But that's the sentiment. That's the ideal with so many people, man. Curious Life, Kirk, he made that video about the chemtrail nonsense. Not that chemtrails are nonsense, but the hysteria is nonsense. It's stupid. He had like 50 unsub comments. I can't believe this. I followed your channel. It's some people, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. How could he be an idiot? Look at his other videos. Like, does anyone, do you guys see what I'm seeing here? Am I the only one who's willing to say, well, we're not right with everything. We're not, I don't really know for sure a lot of these things. They're very convincing. And what we see in the government would make it very logical and feasible. And they're putting forth all the characteristics of really dirty, nasty people. But I don't think that flat Earth is such a deception as it is
that's because you haven't done the research.
I was going to say, sorry, we need to be introducing P. Mars, so if I can just say a quick hello wanted to P. Mars. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Oh, yeah? I do research, buddy.
No, you don't. Because I was just looking at, I was just reading.
Up my name. You knew my father was a teacher. Put me down.
Nathan, are you able to talk to Project Eli or send her messages?
I'm not in close contact with Project Eli, but I watched her live stream and then went to a few other videos, came back and it had been taken down, and she'd done a 2-minute video that said, all trolls are banned, I've been porn bombed, I thought P. Mars was a good guy.
Yeah, I don't know why she put my name in there, because like now I got a death threat, and it's kind of like I didn't even do anything, so like she should be more responsible with fucking like
no swearing, please.
Just falsely, sorry. Well, yeah, just throwing like my name out there and stuff like without any like I didn't do anything, you know, and so now like people think I porn bombed her, and I got death threats now, even though I did nothing.
Did I get our story right, P-Mars? Did I get our interaction the other day online?
Yes.
All right.
It was 100%.
So I mean, you see it from your side. You see it from the flat Earth. Flat Earthers are notorious for just spitting out Dubé's rehash, because Dubé's information is books. They're just, you know, he makes videos of him dictating books. Fine, audio books. Okay, I get it.
Do you know who Jackson Pollock is? Haunted House.
Of course I do.
Okay, he was created and funded and like made popular by the CIA. That there.
Okay.
I read a book, The Cultural Cold War. Here, look, I read a book, The Cultural Cold War. All these like artists, all these like novels, all this shit was coming from the CIA. Yeah, so it's like.
But explain that though.
Nothing is. Look, read what they say about, like, I've read some of their quotes where they talk about how like any group that promotes like a weird belief system or like something like is controlled by the CIA. Like Flat Earth was created by the CIA, like straight up. There's no such things as a grassroots
where do I stand?
movement.
Where do I stand?
I don't know where you stand. You could be a government agent. I think a lot of this people, I think Nathan Oakley is. I think there's a lot of like spooks.
But that's what you think. So where do I stand for me?
That
I know where I stand. I know, you know, who employs me and who doesn't employ me. But when it comes to Jackson Pollock, what does that mean though? What did they pay him to do? Did they give him a diagram? Do this. Take the paint and drip it.
They made him popular. Yeah, I mean, I guess they were looking for like weird artists or like.
There's no musician without a producer. No musicians out there without a money man behind. Bob Dylan had a producer. If he didn't have that, he wouldn't have become famous.
They control like culture, like they control what becomes popular, and like even
money,
like even small little things that you think are grassroots, like Flat Earth. Are organized and controlled propaganda. So,
but what do you mean by controlled though? Control the info.
Like I'm saying, like the whole thing, like with Mark Sargent was like.
That's easy, but you got to get more specific.
Mark Sargent was like a CIA agent or some shit.
I mean,
putting me propaganda videos. I don't really care.
But that's what everybody's saying. Isn't it?
Yeah, but they're going off like that Metatron shit, which is like a red herring. Like I just study straight up propaganda, and then I look at like what they're producing, they use in their videos, their messages, and that's how I determine shit. Like I don't really give a fuck about like actually.
But what do you control, man? Why don't you? You could probably get a job, man. You could get a job at some marketing agents, because marketing is propaganda. Start a cult.
Yeah, public relations.
Leave your mark at least. Don't be a bystander and fucking, Bernays. He's somebody. He did something with it. I don't support it. It's marketing at its finest. What do you think NASA is? NASA's the biggest PR firm that ever be created. And they're good at it. They're really good at it. Yeah. We might not say that. It doesn't matter. They're not looking for our belief systems. They don't want to convince us. They're happy with the people they got. And we know it.
NASA was not created to make people think the Earth is a ball, dude.
Absolutely not. You're absolutely right. I hate when people say that shit. Like, David Weiss put a video out the other day, and he said, he didn't say, he put it in the title, SpaceX wants to deceive you. And I was looking at it like, oh, dude, why did you say that? Because that would look so paranoid. Forget about SpaceX. Just show the video. Just show the video. Forget about the blame thing. Stop blaming NASA. It's like, I don't want to hear about NASA anymore. I can't stand any of that.
When you listen to like flat earthers, it's like they think NASA is at the top of the pyramid or some shit. Like,
I know.
Once NASA falls, everything falls.
That's like you enter the conspiracy realm with no discernment skills or no confidence in your own methods of investigation. Because there are skeptical people, truly skeptical. There are people who like don't easily have a good time. They don't laugh much. Like Sophia Smallstorm, for instance. She never laughs. Anytime she does a video, haha, haha, because her brain is like in overdrive, analyzing. Whereas I can't live that life. I can't live being concerned about other people doing something to me that I know they can't do anyway unless I let them. Oh, shoot. But that, I want to see how they got Jackson Pollock to make those paintings. And I know what you're saying. They bankrolled them.
Yeah, you should check out the
That's
book.
a good thing. That's a good thing. What's it called again? What's the author?
Cultural Cold War. I gotta look up the author. Let's see here. It's some chick. She's like really fucking. She was like a Cambridge educated. She's like fucking really smart. This chick who wrote it. I just watched her give a lecture about it.
Nathan, does the cursing rule, is it for on air or off air, or do you have these on air? It must be on air.
Yeah, you're on air.
All right. I don't even have my phone in front of me.
He's doing OBS, so it says off air here in the Hangout, but it's being broadcast on OBS.
So, The Cultural Cold War by Francis Saunders.
Oh, Francis Saunders.
Yeah.
He's probably a Jew.
It's a chick.
That's what you think. Probably not a penis.
Oh, a tranny. It's a tranny, yeah.
It's a tranny Jew. Worst
What's her
man.
shoulder to hip ratio?
Oh my God.
I'll have to ask Antonio. He's the expert on that.
Oh, he sure is. That's apparent.
Because he's an artist.
I'm still trying to figure out his angle on that one. Like, what the hell? He dug himself a hole, man. I'm sorry, but I can't watch Antonio's videos anymore.
I love how
surrounding himself in negativity. Just
that is kind of digging yourself a hole because you're like admitting to having sex with a tranny. I don't know. It's kind of a weird.
He's not just admitting it. He's making sure that everybody that hears him realizes that he had sex with a tranny. He is dead set on making sure that everybody knows this.
But when I hear information, any information, there's two things that could be happening. That person behind their head, their black shadow body soul, is going. Anyway, she had a 12-inch penis. I'm standing there going, "Whoa, really? I didn't know that." And as soon as I turn around, they go, "What a fucking idiot!" Whoops, sorry. Like, what an idiot.
You should be ashamed, curved like Eddie Murphy.
Well, I think Eddie Murphy's into that sort of thing.
Yeah, I know. That's why I brought it up as a joke.
His one a mistake.
He got busted with a tranny. He got busted with a tranny. He's like, "Oh, I was just giving her a ride home. I didn't even know they were a tranny."
But she wasn't post-op, was she?
So let me just say this.
She probably had a dick. Yeah, she probably had a dick. I don't remember.
Let me just say this though, and I know we're joking about this now, but I really hope that you guys don't resort to picking on Patricia Steer. Like, get like, you got to get a new game.
Too late for me.
Oh, I don't even believe it.
It's weak though. I mean, how it's just pathetic though. It's really pathetic to see guys like MGTV, like I say every time. How does he get up from the chair in front of his computer when he clicks that save video? Like, ha, gotcha. Oh boy. And he walks over to his 400-pound wife and he goes, I'm glad you're a woman. Yeah. There's a woman across on the other side of the country. And I showed her. Really. And what's the end game? You know, do they, like I was asking you, P-Mars, do they want to kill this person? Or do they want to, you said shame them. But how do they know the
I don't
shame
know.
is good?
There does seem to be a lot of death threats being thrown around. Like, I just got a death threat, so I've heard other people have gotten death threats.
That's why death threats exist, because the person sending them is too scared to like interact with the person that they're potentially going to kill.
If you strike me down, you will only make me stronger.
Word.
God. I got a death threat once. It was over the phone, and it was right after the whole debacle with the electrical union. And I was in a really bad
project, I got a death threat. I got a death threat off Jamie Teth, the guy who's formerly known as Fake Spaceman in Space, formerly known as Fake Clouds in Sky. So he threatened to come to the Leamington meet and strangle me and my wife. And my reply to that was, what are you going to do with my daughter?
He's going to take care of her. He's going to be her new dad.
Oh, boy. What did he didn't entertain that question, right?
They'll be like the professionals.
Man, this is the keyboard. This is the year of the keyboard warrior. You should see what I can do when I'm behind my keyboard. You can pick on me now and put my face in the toilet bowl, but once I face my keyboard, and it's like the sword. I have the power. Pew, pew. Keyboard. I am the dream. Remember the Dream Master? Like the Nightmare on Elm Street? In my dreams,
Nemo.
I have swords. And I can strike you down, Freddy. But, yeah. Death threats over Flat Earth. Wow. Wowzers.
Yeah.
It's like people have so much time on their hands to be pissed off at things. I'm not doing anything this week. What's going to bother me?
It's because like all the Flat Earth arguments are emotional. That's why you get like crazy people death threatening.
Not with me. There's so many Flat Earthers. We got to take out the trash. Everyone needs to be responsible. You know, you're either part of it or you're being honest with it. And if you're perpetuating it, then expect more of it. But I shut off with that shit. I just shut off. Well, I don't know if it's because I've had real issues in life. Sorry.
Oh no. I was just wondering then what are the arguments you have? How would you
I don't argue
them?
I don't argue Flat Earth or globe Earth. Because first of all, one, I've never seen one of them. The other one I've seen.
Been joined by Alex. Good to have you here, Alex.
Hello. I'm just
Alex
here.
French.
Yeah.
It sounds like a cook's name. Alex French will be serving pastries.
People always ask me if I'm French, but then I say no because my name would be Francais, wouldn't it?
That's funny. That I'm Johnny English. Are you English? No, it's just the last name. You know, it's weird. I have two first names, and it's a great way. It's a great barometer for people that are easily confused. They're like, wait a minute, which? Okay, I'll slow it down, and I'll give you the first name first. It's okay. It's understandable. They're both first names. Could be going forward or backwards.
So you got what? So your surname's like a first name, is it?
Yeah. Well, I'm Jonathan Vincent. And the other thing, on Bro Sanchez's show, Patricia knows me as my real name, and she said, "Oh, you had Jonathan on it," or I think she said my full name, and everybody wrote in the comments, "Patricia just doxed you. She just doxed you, dude." I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, first of all, I couldn't figure it out, and then I finally figured it out. I'm like, "Oh, that is just more proof of the pudding." Like, That's what they're waiting for. Like, you get her, do something.
Well, it's a lot of drama, isn't it? Well, that's what makes it fun. It's all the drama, all the excitement. There's always somebody going to come up. I don't know, what was the lady? Riley making a... Well, whatever. I don't know. It's bad at people.
I'm sorry, but that picture of Anthony Riley is hilarious in the bathtub.
Hot Tub Riley.
He blocked me on Skype because I made that picture.
You got blocked by Boss Man.
Yeah, man. I don't know why he was so upset because he went on. He was on ISO's Flat Earth Court, and he thought it'd be a good idea to go put his webcam on his hot tub and jump in the hot tub. Like, he was putting the image out there. I just like saved it because it was funny.
Yeah, that's a classic picture, that one.
All right, so if I could ask real quickly, Jonathan, you say you don't argue flat or globe?
I think that's what he said.
Yeah. I don't participate in proving things to people because I can't do it. I can't. Someone has to be willing to relent once the facts are stated. And we both see the same thing.
You must empty your teacup.
What do you do?
I ask them questions. I ask them to reinforce their own ideas. And that's usually when the breakthrough happens. So what do you see and why? Because the why is more important than the what, really. It's like, why do you believe in God? Not what God, because isn't that like unknown? But what people believe in is, to me, not as important as belief in the first place. So I see a flat thing. I see a flat everywhere. I never experienced any of that stuff. It could be made to sound like that. I understand. Like, there are people, there are flat earthers who will put up that fight like, no way, no way. It's like, no, I could definitely be the ball earther. I know exactly where those arguments are coming from. And the ones that are doing measurements, like, there's so much in the way with these measurements, with the analytes and all this stuff.
Really?
I don't really, this topography issues, and then it comes down to here we are talking about it when if I need to take care of something, if I need to do something, I'm going to go and do it. I'm not going to talk about it because this forum for, it's either going to be one or the other, then it's got to be one or the other. Because technically, if you guys can prove it, then we have to, come to a consensus here.
But what do you consider
we're not.
proving? What do you consider proving?
I don't consider proving to be anything.
How is anyone to do it? How is anyone to do it?
They have to do it within it's up to them. That's why this is a personal journey. And it is, because it changes you.
All right. Well,
I'm changed.
How is anybody supposed to prove anything when you're basically saying they can't prove it? Or
so why do they have to prove it?
Well, you said it. No? Didn't you say it?
I didn't say it.
Well, you said you're trying to put the onus off on the others. You're trying to say they could prove it.
I'm saying that when it comes down to universal truths and these sort of things, it can only be held within the individual. I don't know what you dream at night. You could tell me, but I'll never see it from your eyes. This perspective of flat Earth can only be seen from the person, the individual. If they choose to tell other people about it, that's fine.
We've been joined by Jonathan Roberts. Just to say a quick hello to Jonathan. Good to have you here.
Yeah. What up, people? Everybody cool? All right.
Hello. Why doesn't everybody say hello?
That was very spiffing. Who just said hello in a very...
I did. Sorry, my voice is... I just woke up. I was up really late last night. Not doing anything special.
If I'm a ball earther and I have an issue with flat Earth, what's the real issue that I have? And I've heard this, well, there's too many dumb people and I want to make, no. Nobody really cares about preventing the more dumb people from appearing on the world. Like, no one's going to save society. Like, that needs to be put away.
Oh,
We're all selfish. We're all selfish.
Well, that's the way you see it. That's the way you see it. Maybe you don't see.
It's the
Maybe
only
you
way
don't
I
see
can
what
see
other
it.
people see there.
What do you mean?
Maybe you don't see what other people see there. Other people see it differently from you.
How do you know what they see?
What's going to make your opinion any better or more correct than others?
Opinions aren't really correct.
There you go.
A perspective.
Right. So people's opinion of the shape of the earth doesn't really matter, does it?
Well, no. I could say that my opinion would be, hey, you know, the sphere Earth is really cool. It just looks cool in pictures, and what an awesome thing. All right.
Does it matter to you?
CGI.
Does it matter to you what it is?
What does it matter?
Does the Earth beneath me matter?
Yeah, the shape.
I don't think I could stress to you how much by saying yes to that question. So
agree.
You'll figure that one out as we go along.
So why do you think it's like good to just go with, you know, whatever each individual sees, and it's up to them what they see, and you know, why argue it? And you know, the approach that you seem to be taking is just to avoid the debate.
If everyone did that and they avoided, like, picture a classroom, and that was the problem. That was the quiz. That was the test. And everybody broke off into their little groups. And one guy came over and was like, hey, you guys figured this out yet? It's like, no, but we're leaning towards flat. All right. I don't know. Okay, well, everyone spreads out again. And over the course of the day, they're all trying to figure this thing out. And then groups start to form, and then there starts to be one group that gets larger and larger and larger. And that group is going to grow larger for a few different reasons. That there's something that sounds good, some tasty, shiny information that makes sense. There could be pure fact. It would be good to know the intention of everyone in the classroom. Like, does everyone need to figure this out, or they're not going to pass?
We've been joined by Mr. Grimv and Music Man. I just wanted to say a quick hello to you guys, if I may.
Hi, guys.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. I've got another Brit on the panel.
Hello. It's me as well.
Hello.
So, are you in the shower? Are you in the shower?
I am.
Showering on the Hangout.
Yep.
Well, how the hell in?
And sorry to just one more time. We were also joined by Grimv. Please tap your Grim.
Turn your cam on and porn bomb us.
I had to watch my thumb when I picked up the phone. So anyway, when it comes down to the grass is green, it's either green, and I say, well, I don't see it that way. There's nothing you can say that's ever going to make me change. Because if I want to say it's red, I'm going to say it's red. But then how is the world going to look at me? I say, that guy's, he's being obstinate. He's being contrary. Because we all know it's green, right? But what if it is red? Well, no, it can't be red. Water boils at 212 degrees, whatever it is.
All right, why is green grass red, dude? Why would green grass be red?
We're getting a lot of feedback. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to break up the flow of things. If you're not talking, can you pop yourselves on mute? If you're on a mobile device, you just need to tap your screen and press the mute button. If you're on a computer or a Mac, move your mouse over the Hangout page and just click mute.
I think being that we grew up with the sphere model, it's really going to have a harder time becoming the popular vote. And the only reason why it has so many votes is because they pushed it on.
It sounds like this dude's underwater.
It can only be one or the other, though. I mean, you've already agreed on that. It's one or the other. So all of this stuff about what one person thinks, what another person thinks, it doesn't really affect what it is, does it?
But you want an answer.
I have an answer.
I don't think you do.
Well, that's okay.
I think you need validation.
My knowledge
all
is
right.
not dependent upon
But
what
there's
you
your
say.
opinion again. That's where we're back to the everybody has one thing, right?
But I don't need
What's
anyone to
all
tell
that
me I'm
noise?
right.
Can you get to a drier area or go to like?
And also,
All right,
is
you know
that
what?
water curved that you're in?
Yeah.
That's why I don't have my camera on.
That
sound like
Here, you guys can ponder on that.
You're making me need the toilet, man. Come on. Subliminal message. I'm actually going to go to the toilet. I'll be back in a bit.
Well, at least he muted.
No, I muted him.
What a refreshing sound of silence. Ugh.
I was pondering over the that double split experiment, and I was thinking perhaps if you compared the way they act whilst being observed, you could compare that to the flat Earth concept.
Ugh, double slit is debunked.
Well, I finished what I was about to say. If you've got something more interesting to talk about, then yeah, crack on.
Double slit experiments debunked. You can do the same thing with a laser and a pinhole needle. Check out just Google slit experiment debunked.
Debunked in what way?
And debunked by repeated through another mechanism.
So they don't change their behavior when they're being observed.
Right, because it's not a it's not like that. Yeah, exactly.
And what are you talking about when you say observed?
My understanding of that experiment was that the light particles acted differently whilst being observed, or recorded rather, than when not being recorded, as in the way that went through the slit.
You understand that doesn't mean whether somebody's watching the experiment occur or not, right? It doesn't involve human consciousness affecting and all that.
Well, that's why I use the word recorded.
Okay, but you do. There's a lot of people out there that think that it has to do with, the observer changes the experiment. No,
that was my understanding.
It's not the act of watching it.
Is that from What the Bleep Do We Know? That documentary.
Yeah, but I was comparing it to, a flat Earth would be, we are all being observed, so perhaps we'd all act differently if we knew for certain we were all being observed. Whereas the other outcome would be on the globe Earth, we're not all being observed. So, comparing it to the double split experiment. People act differently when they know they've been observed.
Sorry to interrupt, but can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right. It's just, it says that unfortunately Hangouts has stopped. So is my camera on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Fix that.
Loud and
clear. I'll try and get rid of my ugly mug. Yeah, hold on.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's fine. You're looking very relaxed.
Yeah. For once, I actually am.
I was speaking to my nephew just now. We just come back from breakfast, and I was asking him about what's going on in school these days, and the amount of it is indoctrination, and how Nazi-like the British public schools are becoming today. I was quite shocked. They do this thing now. They call it slanting. They say 1, 2, 3, and then all the students have to stand up and fold their arms and be silent until the teacher then dismisses them from the classroom. Just found it quite amusing.
Well, sorry, what do they do again? Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, they say that the teacher says 1, 2, 3 slant, then all of the pupils have to stand up and fold their arms and be silent.
Oh, like military kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'd only heard of that today. And they no longer sing the Lord's Prayer and stuff.
Yeah, I know. Sad.
Amazing.
Yeah, Satan made them take God out of the schools.
Yeah, I'm with that.
They were
That was like, and they replaced it with like Helena Blavatsky. Theosophy was like, I think she was on the, or people she influenced. Oh yeah, Alice Bailey was like her student. I think Alice Bailey worked on like educational boards and shit to get like God out of the school, and they replaced it, with this like Madame Blavatsky Theosophy type philosophy shit.
They still do teach religions in the in the RE classes, religious education, but they teach like across the board now. All of the religions. Well, not obviously not all of them, but the major ones. Whereas when I was in school a long time ago, it was just either well, not Catholic, but the Protestant religion. Christianity.
Yeah, I mean, in my school, we didn't have a particular religion, but we said the Lord's Prayer at assembly all together. Like, do you know what I mean? The whole school, like the whatever morning thing.
Yes,
I remember that well. Yeah, I think that was
more
good.
More of an Islam school then, was it?
It was a what? An Islam school?
More of an Islamic school, what with the Lord's Prayer being said and all.
No, it was it wasn't any religion school, but there was a lot of Sikhs there, so that's not Islamic.
I'm pretty certain it was a Christian school that you went to.
Yeah, sorry, Nathan, I'm a bit slow this morning. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I think it's messed up.
I think it was just a lot of Christian teachers there. Sorry.
Like saying the Pledge of Allegiance before every day. It's like that repetition. It gets ingrained in people. I remember one time I tried to, like when people say the Pledge of Allegiance, they say it like monotone or whatever. I started to recite it with inflection and try and like be different. And I got in trouble for it. And she's like, say it like everyone else says it. And shit. It's like, they want you all in your uniform being the same, saying the same Pledge of Allegiance every morning. Repeat.
Yeah, with the uniform, my nephew wore a pair of black trainers or running shoes. And there was a branded logo on the side. And he was sent to isolation. And it's just 3 walls from wall to ceiling, 2 either side of you and 1 in front of you, with just a chair there. And you have to sit there for half an hour and just stare at the wall. It's like an open prison.
Hey, P. Mars, when they did roll call and everybody was saying here, were you the guy who said present?
Yeah, probably something like that.
I did a few of those too. I gotta admit, unless someone got to it before me.
I got banned from you saying the number 69 in one class.
Oh,
and then I got it. And then they were doing a roll call on book numbers, and my book number was 69. It's pretty funny.
You guys understand that your thoughts become unstable when you start communicating with someone? Like when you guys were talking about the Earth being a ball, all my flat Earth stuff started wiggling like an unstable molecule, and I was like, "Oh, that's why."
Because every flat Earth thing you got to think of, it doesn't come with any supporting evidence.
Okay, get it out. I was saying to myself, is this statement going to be worth what I'm going to hear before I say it? I think so. My thoughts were becoming unstable when you guys were talking about, that's because we kicked your ass. But when I talk about flat Earth, your thoughts become unstable. I don't need you to...
Don't flatter yourself. You don't have that effect.
So, there's a few people who are in the chat room currently saying that the show isn't flat Earth related enough. Even one of the panel members who's just piped up, which is Curved Water. But there is 10 places on these debate panels. There are currently 8 people in the show. So any of the keyboard warriors who would like to join the show, feel free to click on the link in the info box below this video. There's approximately half an hour left on this stream. So if you did want to join to express your views on the shape of the Earth, feel free to do so. If you wanted to support the show, there is a super chat that runs alongside while the show is live. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected, but you will be warmly welcomed back on the next show. So with that, I'll transition back to the action.
When you're speaking,
why don't you guys go around and tell all your... Because you asked a great question. I thought that was the best question you asked earlier, Haunted. Why are you really here? I mean, is it to do this or to do that? I mean, you were making some inferments, but they were all incorrect as to my position. but the question was fair, I thought. And I'm here to straighten out liars. I don't like liars. I noticed a lot of people in the flat earth community just outright liars. And I like to expose that.
Why did you need to
it's like
tell...
a hobby of mine. I don't know.
Shout out to Spurs Chemo.
Fix liars right in their shit. Excuse my French.
But Grim, now that I know that, are you validating right now? Are you becoming valid? That's not a joke. When I say something to someone, I'm getting a validation. That person knows it. And now I know that another person knows it. So the thought leaves my existence, and now someone else knows something about me. We're connected in a way. What you just said, technically we don't need to know that. But
you asked. I didn't just run around and tell everybody that, right? You asked. That's why I thought it was a fair question.
You want to straighten out liars?
Because technically, I wouldn't have just come out and said, "Hey, guess what I'm doing? This is why." Right?
Well, I didn't really ask you directly, did I?
Yeah, you did, because I'm on the panel, and then you asked the panel. So yeah.
Okay. Like I call these arguments. No, I'm dumber. No, I'm dumber. No, I'm dumber.
Okay. Thanks.
Anyway, that's.
Thanks for agreeing with me.
You wanna?
I'm just kidding.
Fight against liar? Like, if you were a superhero, what would you be called? Don't say the T.
Now you're being condescending again.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, you're messing with fire right now. You're messing with fire.
You're making an assumption that other people.
You're making assertions you're taking what I'm saying out of context. Well, I'm already here. I'm already here promoting the truth about vaccines and what's freedom of information documents where so-called independent researchers are actually working for Monsanto, and you can see it through their back correspondence.
Okay,
all this kind of stuff that should be illegal. I'm on your side. Illegal, but it isn't. Can you allow me to finish why I'm here before you start stepping all over me? Why? I didn't even tell you why exactly I'm here yet. I didn't even finish supporting my statements yet, right? And you want to make sure you stop me before I support my statements.
Why don't you just take it easy for a second?
That way I just have a bunch of statements that are
I know you.
Is that your technique?
You just roll on and on. You just roll on.
I can tell when I'm being messed with. You know what I mean?
Chill, homie.
So can I. But I don't get involved with that stuff because I'm way too past it already. That was like last week. That was last year, man. You love it though, because I've seen you, man. I've seen you, and you know it. You know it. Who cares about truth when honesty means more? Honesty changes a person. I can't tell if you're a truthful person to yourself. This could all be a front, Hey, look at me. I'm promoting truth. Whew, that's going to be a great cover, and no one's going to realize I'm a real liar underneath this. And I'm not saying you're a liar, but it's
I sure hope not.
Somebody's promoting all this truth. It looks manic.
Yeah, you might want to check the content on my channel and see how it's all free to you and how I don't make money and I'm not self-promoting and all that kind of stuff. You might want to check all of that stuff first.
Shouldn't you be doing that anyway?
Before pretending to make an inferment. It's not about what's wrong with making money. It's about what are your motives here in reality. Are you here to make money, or are you here to expose the truth? Are you manipulatable by editors and money? Right. Are you
hand in hand?
Yeah. Do you have
truth, man? There's human interaction.
You have to shave your content because of money, right? Because of the commercials, or because of you won't get particular aid or whatnot, because that's what a lot of these channels are doing, and that's why that's important to a lot of truthers. Is the integrity of your
parents. Hold on, dude. You made your point. Like, you made your point with 20 extra words. How are my parents going to get this truth?
You ramble like nobody's business without saying anything. Don't even try to play that card.
At least I'm making a point, right? Not just gish
How can my
galloping,
parents?
shotgunning.
Okay, all right, good. How can my parents get that truth?
How do I know?
Only on YouTube?
How did I raise your parents?
Wait a second. Didn't you just say there is no truth? Did you not just say there is no truth?
You just say
there is no truth.
Okay, then what are you seeking? You don't even believe truth exists.
What could the truth possibly be?
That's a stupid question.
What could it be? Oh, wait, hold on. The truth seeker just told someone
question, because the truth about what?
A question
you're being arbitrary now. You're being really
I'm not
arbitrary. Yeah, you are.
Is what you're
saying?
I
should just keep my mouth
What's
shut?
the truth?
What you're saying true?
What's the truth?
That's a fucking great question.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
There is no truth. There's nothing to handle.
One at a time, please. Can you try not to swear, please?
Yes, sir.
Sorry,
I think we've got you both on leashes.
There's still a question. There's still a question on the floor. And I'm not joking around. You'll know when I'm joking around. Well, what is it? What could it be? What do you guys think it looks like?
Oh, come on.
Ask your question one more time so I can record it.
What does it sound like?
I would say
what is it? I don't know what
feels comfortable.
Okay, well that's got to refer to something, right? Directly,
They're all
right?
logical fallacies. You have to think the truth sounds like a particular tone.
Probably 532
What does the chair look like?
Right.
What does the chair
match the truth?
The truth shows up visually somewhere on the magnetic spectrum around the visual range.
It's green, but it looks red.
Why can you not have a sensible?
It can still be the truth, even though it's in the non-visible light spectrum.
Oh man!
How does that green smell?
So magnetism could be the truth.
So, are you guys going to answer the question, or?
Well, the truth could sound like a bell.
You don't have a question.
The truth sounds like a bell. You'll know it when you hear it.
So someone asks you a serious question about the thing you're crusading for, and it's funny. It's like joke time, right?
The globe time.
Look at that idiot.
You're the question and riddles. You're the one who made this joke possible. Don't act like you didn't have a hand in it.
Oh, you got me, didn't you? You stuck it to me, didn't you?
The Riddler.
I look like a silly guy over here.
I think the truth looks like Tom Cruise in A Few Good Men.
It's risky business.
But what are we talking here? Like, are we talking the meaning of life? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. When I'm seeking the truth.
I said particularly about the vaccine. You took away the word vaccines and said, so what does truth sound like? Tried to ridicule me.
I didn't say it like that. I didn't say it like that. I like that.
Well, I say it like that because you took away the word vaccines. You took away the word GMOs. The things that I said, I talk about the truth about vaccines and GMOs. And you said, what does the truth sound like? Out of nowhere. That's some magicry. That's like nothing. You just said a bunch of nothing. Like you literally just made fun of someone.
But why didn't you
pretended to be serious in the same breath? They call that passive aggressive nonsense right there.
Oh, hold on. I'm writing this down. Passive aggressive nonsense. Okay.
All right. Is that true? Is that true?
He's writing it down.
Has the CIA trained you in passive aggressive nonsense?
No.
But did they tell you to say, right, I'm writing this down to segue, get out of somebody else talking? I'm writing this down. I'm writing it down.
How do we know if your answers
it's a great way to delphi somebody? Isn't it?
Hey, it's I don't know. There's definitely something to be said when you ask truth seekers what the truth could possibly be, and they laugh at you. That says to me,
because your question is hilarious.
We don't know what we're talking about. Well, we like saying truth.
The truth. The truth about what? I asked. You still haven't got around to that yet, but I'll sit there and I'll pose the question over and over again as you pretend like
universal
it's never
truth.
happened.
I said universal
truth about what exactly?
You did not. You said there is no truth.
But when you guys say you're spreading truth, the word truth is being used to be a modifier, or I'm spreading this one idea. We're spreading truth. So the truth would be your version of things, because I'm sure the other
honest interpretations of data, for one, that's truth. If it doesn't smell like honest interpretation of data, it's not the truth. It doesn't sound like honest interpretation of data.
So if there is no truth, does that mean nothing is false?
No.
Is nothing false?
Honesty is important here.
Okay? But I experience those things. I experience those things for myself.
How do you know?
And I deal with them.
How can anybody else know that what you're saying is even true?
Nobody could know. That's my point. That's
how can you know?
To be honest to yourself.
How can you
know no one could know?
What is honesty
if there is no truth? That no one could know.
What is honesty if there is no truth?
If no one could know by your own logic, how could you know no one could know or could not know?
I can see how seriously you take this. I mean,
no, I'm breaking it. I'm taking it all the way to your logic, the hilt of your logic.
Why are you taking it to my logic?
Deep.
Don't you have your own logic? Man?
I'm sinking it straight through your own skull. Do you see that now? You could not possibly know using your own logic that no one could possibly know. There you go.
Boy.
You refute
This could be a,
through your own
You don't do
words.
too
a
well with
vapid
people,
pile of nothingness.
You don't like it, do you? You don't like it.
When I say that there's no truth, what I'm saying is everyone's going to have their own opinions and ideas and
we were
truths
closer
and
to the
versions.
truth back when I was telling you about the actual emails from the Freedom of Information Act.
I could have finished that sentence, and then I would have gotten the point across. It may have gone in a different direction, but I wasn't allowed to finish.
Instead of babbling, finish the sentence.
Remember that time you were talking about how I
finish
babble and
the
all that
sentence.
stuff? Oh, now I can finish it?
Finish the sentence. Quit babbling instead.
Next.
You can't finish the sentence.
So anyway, why are you trying to be condescending to truthers?
Why would I ask, man?
Were you waiting for, did you say next so you could interrupt the next person that talks, or next you're just going to start talking about the next subject?
You need a horn, Grim. When you do one of your zingers, you can...
Aruga! Yeah,
there you
they're
go.
all zingers when you're talking to me. For some reason, it's...
You ruined this entire show, and you should feel bad, Haunted.
I think he made the show. I think he made the show, Haunted. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, me too.
Is that true?
Too.
Yeah.
Haunted, you're the best. True.
Without him, it wouldn't have been as funny.
So, I mean, how honest can you guys be? This is like a forum where we have 7 people on a panel who are engaged in seeking and spreading truth, and
that's right,
and fighting bullshit and things that are designed to deceive and all that other stuff.
We're fighting somebody saying there is no truth.
Arguing
pharma and biotech firms. Yeah, that kind of truth.
Someone
you know, the
up,
truth,
like
the truth about vaccines causing.
Jump up and they tell them it's this, and this, and this.
The whole time?
And that's really difficult, you know. I'm just trying to say what hasn't been
using the word truth as an arbitrary joke, right? Every time you say it, I'm trying to clarify it. Truth about what? We talk about the truth about the short studies not showing enough.
I'm talking about
using
this forum to figure something out instead of fighting each other. Look, how stupid is it?
While you try to start another fight. While you interrupt me to start another fight.
Forget it. Drop the whole thing. Let's move on. I don't care. I don't need the validation. Let's move on. I don't.
This is supposed to be flat Earth debate. Is it not supposed to be flat Earth debate? Not
for what purpose? Why debate when there is no truth?
I didn't say there was no truth.
I wish one flat earther would bring something to the table.
How many globe earthers have changed their mind, and how many flat earthers have changed their mind?
Who
based
knows?
On any debate.
Any answer to that can't be true.
Loads of globers changed their minds.
Why are we talking? Nothing we can say to each other can be true.
That's how the majority of people become a flat earther.
Yeah, but I'd say you got to define a glober as someone who knows the globe model rather than someone who's just generally looked into it. Because that's like me, right? I wouldn't have said I was a glober. I just became a flat earther.
All right. I'll play the game. I got a few one-liners that I use.
It's not a game. That's part of your problem.
Dude, come on, Curve, lighten up, man. You're really up to game. It's a euphemism. It's an expression. It's an expression.
When people run around saying things like there's no truth, then it's really pointless to talk to them.
Curved forgot that it's a game.
Chill out.
By the way, sorry, mate. Didn't find that footage for you. Sorry.
It's okay. I don't expect you to. I'm just trying to point out the fact that you can't find it. That's all. Right. It's cool.
In fairness, actually, whilst just before I came on, I've still got on my screen. Is my camera on or off?
It's on.
It's on.
All right. Well, I can't do anything because it says, unfortunately, Hangouts has stopped. So once again, I'm expecting it to cut out any minute. But
and there you go.
Oh.
Oh, no.
For real.
The soundtrack to my life.
What are we doing?
This is a good stream. I like it.
This is what happened.
So,
hey, Grim, someone asked you a question. Asked you to explain how the double slit was debunked because the video shows a replicated 2-slit experiment.
No, it doesn't.
What's a
debunk? The video
debunk?
shows a one slit with a laser beam. It's completely different. It's not a two-slit experiment at all.
All right.
It's to show.
I'm gonna throw something. Okay, go ahead.
You need to watch the video.
I was gonna throw something. Can I do? Is there a clear enough room? I'm gonna go right in there. I was speaking to a physicist the other day. I was doing his car for him, and we were talking. He's a really cool guy. You know, he works on F-15s, phased array systems, radars, and all that shit. He smokes pot. He's got cool car. He's on the level. So I said, "What's up with that double split experiment?" I figured all I see is videos and books and whatever. He's like, "Well, I guess it's a wave and a particle at the same time. All of quantum theory is just theory because we can never experience quantum level anything." And that was pretty much no babble for me. But that was the gist of everything that would have taken another 10 minutes had you guys not schooled me before about my babble. So yeah, I babble a little bit. But that's what he said. It was pretty interesting. You know, he said it's a particle and a wave. And then we went. It's funny how it goes right to Schrodinger's cat.
What the textbooks always say and support. Yay, big deal. He didn't do anything special. Any sixth grader would have told you that.
Well, it's not really about that.
It's an argument of credulity.
But as Nick says, it's a theory that's not discarded. It's a theory, but it models things well. It makes predictions. That's why it's not discarded. Like, I mean, I don't know. Gravity was a theory, you know, but it predicts things.
We're on the precipice right now of changing all of those things. That's these gravitationally based theories, and you know, gravity-based theories are being falsified right now. Big Bang falsified, black holes falsified, and so it's actually been falsified thousands of times. The funny thing is, they're not allowing allowing it for some reason yet. It's being held up dogmatically as if it's still true.
Isn't that because it actually works? Like whether it's true or not, the model works.
Invent a fake thing that doesn't even exist and you can't even touch to try to support the idea that no, it doesn't work. Dark matter? No, if you have to use these ad hoc ideas, then no, your theory is broken.
It works for some things, right? I mean, gravity is not totally useless, is it?
Well, it's like, you know,
does Electric Universe get more views than Flat Earth?
Does it? That's because it's probably more like you're more likely to get into that, aren't you, than Flat Earth?
No, but I noticed that the simulation theory is getting quite a lot of views these days. And that's probably got to be more insane, hasn't it?
Well, I think it's got more weight behind it, hasn't it? Because
in the future, there is going to be like a simulation Earth because we're all going to have like fucking cyber implants and shit.
Curse. Hey, I got a question for the simulation guys. What is it a simulation of? The simulation is a simulation of something, right? I asked somebody about that, and they were like, I don't know. That's a good question.
The world, I guess. I don't know.
So, wouldn't I need an original model for that? And I'm asking because I don't know that theory that well. I know James Gates and all that stuff, but
it's just basically like the movie The Matrix, right? Like we're all in like a computer-generated program or something.
I'd say even like the premise of Westworld, if you've seen that.
Okay, so then, right? Okay, yeah, I didn't like Westworld. I like the movie. In the 70s.
Damn ass Google Hangouts done it again.
So I was going to ask you guys for the Globe.
But before you do, we've been joined by a new guest. So I've missed your name already. Let's just have a look.
It's David.
David, I think he's dropped already.
He's gone.
He's gone. Sorry to interrupt.
What I was going to say was, to the globe or on the street, how do you prove the shape of the earth to yourself? How do you prove it to yourself? Like without any NASA faculty or without any assistance?
Stars,
stand there and prove
stars, sun and moon, and curvature over the horizon, boat setting, all that. Boats going over the curve. All that. It's easy. You don't need any science.
Well, hold on. I'll run with that.
Just try once more. I'm really sorry it keeps happening to you, Haunted. I'm sorry to interrupt. We've been joined by David Blackson. Is that right? Can you just say a quick hello?
Sorry, Nathan.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hey, David.
We just need
David.
Just need you to say something, so I know that you're not going to porn bomb the hangout. So if you could just say hello.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that guy on here before. It looks like he's just having tech issues. It's the guy with like the I think the native dude.
Oh yes, he was on yesterday.
Yeah, like Indian on a
sun, moon,
an
stars.
Indian avatar.
Oh, he's gone.
Super easy.
All right. All right. So, what about the answer that he gave you? And he's back again.
Hiya, David.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what he said. Absolutely. I'm actually picturing an Earth with no civilization, like just bare land, bare terrain. So you're looking at the stars and you're saying, all right, the stars are. What are you seeing? You're seeing the stars.
Well, hang on. In order to understand, I mean, if you from one spot, if you kept tracking the stars, then yeah, you'd realise that the sort of sky is a dome or whatever, or a sphere or whatever, or you might think that. But you need to be able to go around the world, right, from different locations and make observations from around the world for the stars point to really, to really hit home for you to realise it has to be a ball.
Right.
That's when you realise it has to be a ball. When you've made observations from different points around the world, and you all
you can't just do it from one point.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why they used to believe in the snow globe. That's where I think they used to believe in that sort of snow globe sort of dome thing. Because that's from their point of view. There's a ball rolling around them, of different stars.
Well, see, I think you guys bring a lot of good points to the table that the flat earthers miss, and I think we bring a lot of good points to the table that the globers miss.
No.
And see, I'm a well. Hold on. Hold on. It's not a contest though. It's not a contest.
Well, it actually is.
If it were about,
it is.
Fairness, it is a contest.
If it were about getting
name a couple.
Everybody gets a medal.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a participation ribbon.
Let P. Mars give a flat Earth argument. Come on.
If we could both work together, we could both work together to figure out and get closer to the most accurate answers. Because it seems like all the answers.
Being honest, then we could do that.
All right, sure, but I don't think there's any globers and flat people working together. See, that's what it is. It becomes this fight.
Reject everything. That's the problem.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, once you label yourself a flat earther, you're now a fanatic. There's no going back.
Okay, while these guys thrash it out in their little intro before we get some flat earth proof from Haunted, I'm going to do a few links as this show has around 10 minutes left to run. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the flat earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs along the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the debate with your watch page muted, simply click on the link in the info box below this video to join the debate live and express your views on the shape of the earth. There are only a couple of rules. Number one, please do not swear. You will be ejected, and if you are, please do not try to rejoin the show with a different sock account. Also, please share and like the stream if you are enjoying it.
What scares me is the 110,000 subs, and how many people are watching them and following them like it's gospel, and they don't realize this. That's the issue. That person needs to either break off with the YouTube subscribers and say, okay, if I keep, because they know what they're doing. They know that they're just doing general arguments.
Yeah, but I mean, look up
people
hot
are buying
dog
into
eating
it.
challenge or something. You got more people doing that kind of crap. I wouldn't really worry about it too much.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
I think more people watch vomit porn than think about flat Earth.
But that's an elitist argument, though, because the guy who enjoys it's right, it's dumb.
Is popular, like no one.
But don't act like you're above it, though. Don't act like you're above it. We all take.
What's disheartening also is when they say this flat Earth will reach critical mass. But if you look at 9/11, surely that's critical mass, and nothing's changed.
Exactly. Exactly. Because no one's doing anything.
One person knows the Earth is flat. So there's no way to reach a critical mass at that
rate. I'd say as well, you'd be I think you're completely wrong about nothing's changed since 9/11, the critical mass, because now generally most people don't trust the government. We've seen all kinds of votes and things going that have gone completely against the media's attempted swaying of big votes in America, England, all over all over Europe. people going against the establishment, against what the media are shoving down their throats. So I'd say it's not true to say that people haven't changed. I think if anything, the conspiracy would be that they know that's happening and they're controlling the opposition of all these things that people are voting. But
you know what?
Yeah,
you know what blows me away?
I would agree with that. Fair play.
Yeah, absolutely. You know the guys who go after the predators, those sexual predators.
I think that's intentional, Cat Earth, because like I think that they want to tear down the system right now and create a new one, and then they're gonna use us to do it, right? And they're gonna make us not believe in our government and things like that, and we're gonna destroy
situations.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, it's a crazy idea, but we might want to concern ourselves with making sure that we know whether it's a globe or a flat Earth before going off and talking about flat Earth as if it's some real thing that matters when it's not even true.
It doesn't matter. I can't prove to you that it matters. You got to be open to it. You got to ask.
No. You can't prove that the Earth is flat. You have no reason to really believe in face of all the evidence that the Earth is flat. Flat Earth is really invalid. This is not about bothering. Why do you act like it's a legitimate thing when flat Earth does not exist other than a bunch of people that consider themselves flat Earthers?
It exists on screen and paper. That's where it exists.
The globe is observed.
No, not by me. I don't observe it. Where
You're not the arbiter of truth, dude. What you know and don't know does not make any freaking difference to reality.
To you, man.
No, to everybody.
How could I affect everyone?
Your beliefs don't change the facts of reality for anyone, except for the people that you're able to sway with your nonsense and non-truths, because you don't believe truth exists.
Do you have nonsense, or is all your stuff tight, grade A, 100% solid?
Yeah, but
I'm top notch.
His own beliefs change his own reality.
Well, hey, man, I'm wrong then.
Subjectively,
you know what can I do to get better? Reality.
Well, you can stop promoting nonsense like the idea that the Earth is flat.
All right, the last you'll hear about it from me.
I doubt that.
I mean, it's less about you promoting it and more about you understanding that it's not.
Well, you gave up. You gave up. Now, I did hear you.
Are you guys open?
You and Snack, you guys were funny at times, but you might want to look into maps a little bit more and the things that you say about them and correct your misunderstandings about what different maps show and why, how they're projected.
Why are you wasting your time here then, Curved?
I'm not wasting my time.
Which they say that the definition of repeating something over and over again and getting no results is insanity, yes?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm trying to learn about the reality in which I live in.
You're really belligerent.
That's good because Curve's here to teach you.
But you seem to know it.
We're talking about the reality of the world you live in.
It seems like your reality.
Know it all. So why don't you be here?
It's not mine. I'm not the only one.
But there's a few guys on this panel that seem at least like they'd be open for a conversation.
I'm open to conversation about the topic. About the topic.
I don't think so.
I don't like derp and philosophy and going off onto irrelevant tangents.
Just so you know, guys, this show is going to end in about a couple of minutes' time.
Bad move. You should let it go, Nathan. That's my opinion.
Nathan, your show always gets way better like after 2 hours when you end it. Seriously.
Hey, you know, my favorite parts of this stuff is when you guys are willing to listen to something. Because I'm willing to listen to something. It's a give and take situation, sort of, somehow. But in here, you know, it's not a contest for me. I'm going to leave and go to work. And, you know, I didn't walk away with anything new. Dick.
No, I'm going to leave and I'm going to go and watch Globebusters.
What kind of shit drum set is that behind me?
And with that, I am going to say, first and foremost, a massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of the live audience who have joined us on this live stream. Extra special thanks, of course, to the participants in the Hangout. For future Hangouts, if you would like to join the show, there is a link in the info box below each of these live streams. I've been Nathan Oakley. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe once this video has rendered, and I will see you all in the next video.